All right, so it's time for us to start sewing the sleeve. Okay, so the sleeve we are sewing is a square sleeve actually. So the square sleeve will be sewn right on the bodies, as you can see, in that manner. So the first thing I want to do is to take the measurement of the length of the sleeve. So the length of the sleeve I'm working with, I'll find the midpoint of my shoulder seam line. Okay, this is my midpoint, and that is where I'm going to sew the sleeve. So I'll just make a chalk mark at that point. Then from the chest line, I'll come down by 2 inches. Okay, so you can see that. So I'm taking my measurement from here to here. Okay, I have 8 inches, so the back has to be equal. So I'm working at 18 inches, okay, or let me say 18 and a half. All right, so I'll just make my mark where I'm going to sew the sleeve to the midline. So it's going to pass through the midline and then pass from the midline into the back like this. So that is where we are going to sew the sleeve. So I've already cut out my sleeve, which we are going to sew right here, but we need to prepare the sleeve. So the sleeve I cut out here is I'm making use of 4 inches, but because we are going to sew acrylic, the width now is 6 inches. Okay, I'll be sewing. Okay, the width is supposed to be 5 inches. Okay, so I'll be sewing half an inch on this side. So if I sew half an inch, I'll be left with 5 inches. So let us work with 5 inches since I've already cut it. The length we just measured here is 16 and a half. So I'll be having 17 and a half. So I'll later trim off the excess I have because I'll sew half an inch here, half an inch here. So I'm going over to the machine now. This is I have 2 pieces of my sleeve. I'll turn them right side to right side. I'll secure them with my pins right now. So once I secure with my pins, next I'll come in with my crinoline. I'm going to sew the crinoline on top, okay? So it will be able to, have more structure once it's being sewn to the bodies. So let us quickly do that. I've sewn my crinoline, as you can see right here. Okay, this is my crinoline. I stitched it on top of one of the fabric. So now I'm going to top stitch. I'm top stitching by flipping all the seams. So I'm going to flip all the seams to the side of, I call one part my lining, okay? So I'm going to top stitch right on top of here. So let me quickly do that. All right, so I'm done flipping all my seams to the part of the crinoline. That is where I had my lining. Okay, so I'm taking one of this fabric to serve as the lining. That is the inner part, and one as the outer part. So now you can see my crinoline. All my seams are going towards it. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, the way it is, I'll turn it this way and I'll close up here at 0.5. I'll do the same at 0.5, then turn it and give it a good press. Then I'll be back to show you what next to do. All right, so you can see what I have right here. Okay, so I've sewn the sides. I have to insert my my hemming gum. Okay, so please, you are supposed to use your hemming gum to sew the first time with your crinoline. We have a detailed video on this channel on how to sew your crinoline, the easiest way to sew your crinoline. Okay, so I just inserted it. So when I'm pressing it down, the the hemming gum will help the crinoline to relax. So now I'm going to turn it to the right side by trimming off these edges. I'm going to trim off the edges because of the crinoline to avoid sharp points at that point. So I just angle it just to cut off or trim off. Okay, so once that is done, I'll just turn to the right side easily. Can you see? I'll turn to the right side. So I want to trim off more because that part I have an obstruction there, so I've taken off the obstruction. So I'm going to use my steam iron now and apply steam. Okay, so I'll repeat the same process for this other one. Remember, we have 2 sleeves right there, so I'll apply steam to it. Then I'll go to my machine and tuck in. I'm going to tuck in and top stitch. I'll tuck in this way, top stitch. Can you see? So I'm going to top stitch. So once I top stitch and finish the sleeve, I'll bring it back for us to sew to the bodies.